Hi, and welcome to English Channel. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
1. Introduction. On a quiet Sunday morning, October 23, 1983, Beirut woke up like any other day. But soon, everything changed. A large truck drove fast toward a building where U.S. Marines were staying. The truck was full of explosives. It crashed into the building and exploded. The blast was huge. In a moment, 241 soldiers lost their lives. Only 20 seconds later, another explosion hit. This time, it destroyed a building where French soldiers were resting. 58 more people died. The city was in shock. Smoke filled the sky. People were afraid and confused. The world asked the same question. Who did this? No group first took clear responsibility, but soon, people began to hear about a new and unknown Shia group. This attack became their dark introduction. Later, the world would know them as Hezbollah. This was only the beginning of a long and painful story. 2. The roots of anger. The rise of the forgotten people. To understand Hezbollah, we must look at the past of the Shia people in Lebanon. For a long time, they were one of the poorest groups in the country. In 1943, Lebanon created a system to share power between religions. But this system was not fair. The Shia community had very little power in the government. Many of them lived in poor villages in the south or in crowded areas of Beirut. Life was difficult. There were not enough schools, hospitals, or jobs. Roads were bad, and many young people had no future. They felt ignored by their leaders. While other groups had more support and better lives, the Shia people were often left behind. This created a deep feeling of anger and sadness. At first, this anger was quiet. People tried to live their lives and hope for change. But over time, the feeling grew stronger. Many began to ask, why are we always the weakest? Why does no one help us? Then in 1979, something important happened in Iran. A revolution changed the country and brought a new Islamic government. This event inspired many Shia people in other countries. They saw that change was possible. They saw that people could rise up and take control of their future. These ideas slowly reached Lebanon. Young Shia men began to think differently. They no longer wanted to wait. They wanted to act. They wanted to protect their people and their land. This mix of poverty, anger, and new ideas created the perfect ground for a resistance movement to grow. 3. The fire of 1982, when invasion became a turning point. In 1982, everything changed very quickly. Israel launched a large military invasion into Lebanon. Their goal was to remove the PLO, a Palestinian group based in the country. But the invasion caused heavy destruction, especially in southern Lebanon. This area was home to many Shia families. Villages were damaged. Homes were destroyed. Many people had to leave their land. Fear and pain spread across the region. For the local people, this was not just a military action. It felt like an occupation. Before this, Israel was seen as a distant problem. But now, soldiers were on their land. Tanks moved through their towns. Planes flew over their homes. The situation became personal. As a result, anger turned into action. Many young men decided they could not stay silent anymore. They wanted to fight back and protect their communities. With support, training, and strong belief, a new group began to form. This group would later be known as Hezbollah. Their goal was simple and clear: to force Israeli forces to leave Lebanon. They believed that only resistance could bring change. The chaos of war gave them a chance to grow stronger and more organized. From this moment, a new chapter began, one that would shape the future of Lebanon and the region for many years. 4. The Mark of Tehran, the birth of a proxy force. Hezbollah did not grow strong on its own. In the early years, it received important support from Iran. After the 1979 revolution, Iran wanted to spread its ideas beyond its borders. Lebanon became a key place for this plan. Iran saw the Shia community there as a natural partner. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, also known as the IRGC, sent trainers and advisors to Lebanon. They helped young fighters learn how to organize, plan, and fight. They also provided money and weapons. With this support, Hezbollah quickly became stronger and more disciplined. The group was no longer just a small resistance movement. It began to act like a real military force. It had leaders, clear goals, and a strong belief system. Religion and politics were closely connected in their actions. In 1985, Hezbollah made an important step. They published a document often called the Open Letter. In this message, they clearly explained who they were and what they wanted. They said they followed the leadership of Ayatollah Khomeini, the supreme leader of Iran at that time. They also declared strong opposition to Israel and Western influence in the region. This moment showed the world that Hezbollah was not just a local group. It was part of a bigger network, connected to powerful allies. Iran saw Hezbollah as a way to increase its influence in the Middle East without direct war. Because of this, many people began to describe Hezbollah as a proxy force. With strong support and a clear mission, Hezbollah was ready for a long fight. 5. Guerrilla War, 18 years of slow pressure. During the 1980s and 1990s, Hezbollah fought a long and difficult war in southern Lebanon. Their main enemy was the Israeli army and its local ally, the South Lebanon Army. This was not a traditional war with large battles. Instead, it was a slow and careful fight. Hezbollah used guerrilla tactics. They attacked suddenly and then disappeared. They set up ambushes on roads. They used snipers to target soldiers from a distance. Sometimes they carried out suicide attacks. These methods were dangerous but effective. The goal was not to win quickly. The goal was to make the occupation too costly. Every attack increased pressure on Israel. Soldiers were always at risk. The situation became stressful and unpredictable. Over time, this strategy began to work. The war did not bring clear victory for either side, but it created a heavy burden. In Israel, many people started to question the cost of staying in Lebanon. Families worried about their sons in the army. Political leaders faced growing pressure at home. For Hezbollah, each small success built confidence. They became more experienced and better organized. They learned from each battle and improved their tactics. This long war slowly changed the balance. It showed that a smaller force, using patience and strategy, could challenge a stronger army. The fight was far from over, but the results were already shaping the future. 6. The Era of Hassan Nasrallah, a leader of legend. In 1992, a major event changed the future of Hezbollah. Israel carried out an airstrike that killed Abbas al-Mazawi, the leader of the group at that time. After his death, a young man named Hassan Nasrallah became the new leader. Many people were unsure at first. He was only in his early 30s, but very soon, he proved that he was a strong and intelligent leader. Nasrallah spoke in a calm and clear way. He understood both politics and war. Under his leadership, Hezbollah began to change. It was no longer only a militia group. It became a more organized and disciplined force. It had a clear structure, better planning, and stronger control over its members. At the same time, Nasrallah made an important decision. He chose to bring Hezbollah into politics. In 1992, the group took part in Lebanon's parliamentary elections. This was a big step. It showed that Hezbollah wanted to be part of the official system, not just fight outside it. By entering politics, Hezbollah gained more influence. It could now speak in the government while still keeping its military power. This made the group very unique. It was both a political party and an armed force. Nasrallah also built a strong connection with the people. He often spoke about resistance, dignity, and justice. Many people, especially in the Shia community, trusted him. They saw him as a protector and a voice for the poor and forgotten. Over time, Nasrallah became more than just a leader. For many supporters, he became a symbol of strength and resistance. His image grew, and his words carried great weight across Lebanon and beyond. 7. The historic victory of 2000, the rise of a legend. After many years of fighting, a major turning point came in the year 2000. Israel decided to withdraw its forces from southern Lebanon. This decision came after long pressure from Hezbollah's continuous attacks. For years, the conflict had been costly. Israeli soldiers faced constant danger. There was no clear end to the fighting. Inside Israel, more people began to question the purpose of staying in Lebanon. Finally, the government chose to leave. When Israeli forces pulled out, many people in Lebanon celebrated. For Hezbollah, this was seen as a great victory. They believed their long resistance had forced a powerful army to retreat. This moment was very important. It was the first time an Arab force had pushed Israel to withdraw without a peace agreement. Because of this, Hezbollah's reputation grew quickly across the region. Hassan Nasrallah's popularity also reached a new level. Many people saw him as the leader who made this victory possible. His image became even stronger, not only in Lebanon, but in the wider Muslim world. For supporters, this was proof that resistance could succeed. It gave hope to many who felt weak or powerless. Hezbollah was no longer just a local group. It had become a symbol. However, this victory also brought new challenges. With greater power came greater responsibility. The story of Hezbollah was far from over, and the next chapters would be even more complex. 8. A state within a state. Power through social services. After the year 2000, Hezbollah did not focus only on fighting. It also worked to build strong support among the people. In many parts of Lebanon, especially in Shia areas, the government was weak. Basic services were missing. Many families still lived in poverty. Schools were limited, hospitals were far away, and jobs were hard to find. Hezbollah stepped into this empty space. The group began to build schools, clinics, and community centers. It helped repair roads and damaged homes. It also gave money and food to poor families, especially those hurt by war. When people were sick, they could go to hospitals supported by Hezbollah. When children needed education, they could attend schools built by the group. This support changed daily life. For many people, Hezbollah became more reliable than the state. People did not only see fighters, they saw helpers, teachers, and doctors. Because of this, trust grew stronger over time. Hezbollah slowly built a large system. It had its own services, its own support network, and even economic activities. It also had its own security and armed forces. For this reason, many people began to call it a state within a state. This situation was complex. Hezbollah was part of the Lebanese political system, but it also acted independently. It held seats in parliament, but it also controlled areas with its own rules and structure. This gave the group great power. Supporters believed Hezbollah helped the poor and protected the community. Critics believed it made the country weaker and more divided. Both views existed at the same time. 9. The War of 2006, a test of strength. In 2006, a small border incident quickly turned into a large war. Fighting began between Israel and Hezbollah and lasted for 34 days. It became one of the most serious conflicts in the region in recent years. Israel launched heavy air attacks across Lebanon. Roads, bridges, and buildings were destroyed. Many civilians were affected, and thousands of people had to leave their homes. At the same time, Hezbollah fired thousands of rockets into northern Israel. Cities and towns lived under constant fear. The war was intense. Hezbollah fighters used tunnels, hidden positions, and careful planning. They moved quickly and avoided direct battles when possible. This helped them survive strong attacks and continue fighting. Many people expected Hezbollah to lose quickly, but this did not happen. The group continued to resist until the end of the war. This surprised many observers around the world. In the end, there was no clear winner. Lebanon suffered heavy damage and many lives were lost. But Hezbollah remained standing. It showed that the group had strong weapons, good training, and the ability to fight like a regular army. This war changed how people saw Hezbollah. It was no longer just a small group. It had become a serious military force in the region. 10. Stuck in Syria. When a hero became a fighter for power. In 2011, a new and violent conflict began in Syria. What started as protests soon turned into a long civil war. Many groups fought against the government of Bashar al-Assad. The situation became very complex, with many countries involved. At first, Hezbollah stayed out of the war, but soon this changed. With strong support and direction from Iran, Hezbollah decided to enter the conflict. Thousands of its fighters crossed into Syria. Their mission was to help the Assad government remain in power. This decision was very important. Before this, Hezbollah was known as a resistance group against Israel. Many people in the Arab world respected it. They saw it as a defender of land and dignity. But the war in Syria was different. It was not a fight against a foreign army. It was a war between people of the same country. Hezbollah took part in many major battles. Its fighters gained real experience. They learned how to fight in cities and large battle zones. This made the group stronger in terms of military skill. However, this came with a heavy cost. Many people began to see Hezbollah in a different way. Instead of a resistance force, it was now seen by some as a group serving Iran's goals. Critics said Hezbollah was no longer protecting Lebanon, but helping expand regional power. The conflict also increased religious tension. Hezbollah is a Shia group, while many of the areas where it fought had Sunni populations. This created anger and fear. Some people believed Hezbollah was fighting against fellow Muslims, not for them. Because of this, its image changed across the Arab world. Many former supporters lost trust. They felt that Hezbollah had moved away from its original purpose. It was no longer just a defender. It had become part of a wider and more complex conflict. This period was a turning point. Hezbollah became stronger on the battlefield, but weaker in reputation and public support. 11. 2023 to 2024. Heavy blows and an uncertain future. In October 2023, a major event shook the region. Hamas launched a large and sudden attack on Israel. This quickly raised tensions and increased the risk of a wider war. Hezbollah soon joined the conflict. It began launching attacks across the border in support of Gaza. This led to growing clashes with Israel. The situation became more dangerous with each passing day. As the conflict continued into 2024, Hezbollah faced serious challenges. Israel carried out a series of strong and targeted strikes. These operations aimed at key parts of the group's system. Some attacks focused on communication networks. Explosions damaged important devices and caused confusion. Coordination became more difficult. At the same time, several high-ranking leaders were targeted. These losses had a deep impact. Experienced leaders were difficult to replace. The group's structure became weaker. Decision-making slowed down, and internal pressure increased. Among the most serious moments was the loss of top leadership figures. This created fear and uncertainty inside the organization. For many years, Hezbollah had depended on strong and stable leadership. Now, that stability was shaken. These events marked one of the hardest periods in Hezbollah's history. After decades of growth and influence, the group now faced real risks. Its military strength was under pressure. Its political position was less secure. The future of Hezbollah is now unclear. It must adapt to survive. It must rebuild leadership, restore systems, and respond to new threats. What happens next will shape not only Hezbollah, but also the future of the region. 12 Lesson and Personal View. A cycle of violence and survival. The story of Hezbollah teaches an important lesson. Violence and occupation often create stronger enemies over time. When people feel ignored or attacked, they may rise and fight back. This is how Hezbollah first grew. However, the group also shows another truth. When a movement depends too much on outside powers, like Iran, it can lose its original purpose. Over time, many people in Lebanon began to question Hezbollah's role and goals. Hezbollah is a complex and mixed force. On one side, it helps poor communities with food, schools, and medical care. On the other side, it brings conflict and isolation to the country. These two sides exist at the same time. The events of 2024 may be a turning point. Lebanon has a chance to rebuild and take control of its future. But if poverty and injustice remain, history may repeat itself once again.